All right, good evening, y'all. As y'all can see, we were finally able to get our intro and our outro videos set up. Um, so that's the way we will hopefully work from this point forward. Craig, we always start out with the same routine. How's your week been, buddy?
Been good, been good. I was just sitting here looking. I just got back from about 30 minutes ago from our granddaughter's first granddaughter, and I realized I still have my granddaddy T-shirt on. Happy Pappy. So
Well, now that you say that, I just
that's my
realized.
granddaddy name.
There you go. Hey, look here, ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, you said that, and it made me look at the screen, and I realized that I still got my sticker from McLeod's on. So, needless to say, that's the
Yeah,
reason we had to run a little late this evening. My mom was put in the hospital late last night, and with some health issues, and she's gonna be okay, but so we had to push it back a little bit. I hope they gave you a little bit more time to spend with your grandbaby now. I hope it wasn't a
oh yeah, it did. It did. I tell you, we had a good time.
look here. My daddy years ago told a friend of his with me standing there, said, if I'd have known then what I know now about how much fun grandkids are, I'd have skipped having kids. And I looked down and said, wait a minute, you do realize I'm standing right here, right? Um, but with that being said, I have three of my own now, three grandkids of my own, and I can understand where he comes from. It's much more fun with grandkids than the whole
Special.
other deal. It is. It's special. It's a special part of life. So, well, we
Yep,
left off last week with more questions we had answers for, I do believe, and the bye week has not
yep.
really helped us out with that. I don't. I mean, I'm talking about with having less questions than answers, but I am looking
That's
forward
right.
to seeing what we come out of it with. How about you? I mean, what are your thoughts going into the Duke week?
Who would have ever thought that we'd be sitting here saying, "Man, I'm a little worried about this game."
Yeah.
you know, um,
Yep.
I tell you, you just got a big question mark. Status with Cade. You know, even though I feel like we can win with Vizina,
Yeah.
um, I'm just hoping these boys have been working hard and did some soul searching and can get back Clemson football.
We went from week one with the announcers talking about, yes, LSU has won this game, but you're looking at two possible playoff contenders, and the season's not over for Clemson. To today, um, us sitting here asking questions about what happened to this team that we were told was coming out, and also seeing that LSU may be parting ways with Brian Kelly. I mean, you know,
Isn't that crazy?
it is, man. It really is. I mean, two
I
um postseason
I
contenders.
watched that game last night.
Oh, yeah,
Yep,
that
I
was
watched
rough.
that game last night. Look here, Texas A&M that second half, they're like, all right, we're done. We're
Yep.
taking it to you. They did. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
good Lord. And
Yeah.
then Kelly was on the sidelines, man. He was trying to cuss anybody that walked in front of him. It
Yeah.
seemed like he said a cuss word to
I'm telling you.
him.
And look, let's be straight up on, or I'm gonna be straight up honest. I am not a Brian Kelly fan. Okay.
Me
My,
neither.
my
Not at
cousin
all.
my cousin last week said, "Do you think what do you think about LSU?" I said, "I think the fake Louisiana accent has worn off." And he laughed.
Yep.
He said, "I hadn't thought about it that way." I'm like, "Yeah, I will never forget him trying to pretend to be from somewhere he wasn't." When they first hired him, and I
That's
mean,
right.
it's hey. Then somebody else made the comment and say, "Yeah, sad thing is they hired the wrong Notre Dame coach," and I'm like. I hadn't thought about that. You might be right.
Yep. I tell you, they should have never let Ed Orgeron go.
No, no.
That
Well,
dude, that he was he probably still bleeds
oh yeah.
Louisiana State University.
Well, and I do believe is sadly enough, I do believe that last interview where he told the guy that he um he knew some places down there in Louisiana where they could put people like him. I think that was pretty much the nail in the
Yeah.
coffin. So, but
He was
well,
something now.
Coach O, man, I mean, I'm telling you, boys, they could have easily had him play the coach in the Water Boy, and people would have been actually, I believe, more believable to it.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
All right, so
Coach O.
yeah, I'm telling you, man, only one, man. All right, so we're going into the Duke week. We are favored again, and you know, on paper, this should be a good game. You know, I am. My plan is to be up there for the game. The one good thing that
Good.
I feel like is this: it's a noon game. I do
Yep.
believe that kind of helps us out a little bit. I know that's odd to say, because usually you want it to be a 3:30 or 7 o'clock game for it being, everybody thinks that's prime time when it's not anymore. But, um,
Yeah.
you know, I you said a little while ago you're going to be interested to see whether Cade is able to go or if Zena goes. My thing is, can the offense block? Because just being honest, it's not going to matter if Chris Vazina's back there, if you know, Cade Klubnik's back there, if Deshaun Watson's back there, or Tom Brady's back there. If they're running for their lives, it's not, it's going to be a long day for us. Um, and on the other side of it, if we can't do something on defense to get stops, again, it's going to be a long day. Um, you would hope that coming out of the bye week, you would see a huge change. We did after the first bye week, as we know, but at the same time, level of competition, huge difference, way
Yep.
different. But with that being said, another buddy of ours pointed out last night, look at what Wake Forest did to SMU. Okay, I get it. I understand. At the same time, look at what North Carolina did with UVA.
That's right.
You know,
UVA barely pulled that one off.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing about college football. Like I said earlier, on paper, this should be a good game. There's no way to know at this point which team we get, and I think that's going to be interesting to see. So,
Very, very much so. I'm with you. Defense too. They going to be able to stop somebody.
yeah,
Offensive line, they're going to be able to block somebody. Um, and I agree with you. It doesn't matter if we have Cade Klubnik or Dan Marino back there. If he
exactly
doesn't have
right.
the blocking in it, they're going to be able to function. You
Nope,
know,
nope.
but
I do
I'm
believe.
just
I have
hoping to
to
see.
agree. I have to agree with what Eric McLean said last week. Now I don't know if I totally agree with what he said because I mean there are a lot of things that he said last week that I was like, where did that come from?
Yeah,
Almost like somebody up there had kind of peed in his cornflakes or something all of a sudden because he's usually been very supportive of Dabo and everything up there. But the one thing that I would agree with is that was some of the worst offensive blocking I've seen in years at Clemson. I'm talking about. I mean, that was just bad
it
football.
was. And
Um,
and and that, they were supposed to. I mean, there's a lot of experience on that line. I mean, you look at
exactly.
Blake. You look at Blake Miller. He's been a starter since he was a freshman.
Yep. Yep.
All across that line. I mean, there's just tons of experience. And the common denominator with the offensive line and the rest of the team is what in the world has happened?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we could go down the list, man, and you'd have questions about, and I'm gonna go a step further. If you were to go down a list of players on this staff or on this roster, both of us could go, okay, that guy's playing great. What about this guy? Where did he, you know, for instance, we keep saying it's a common denominator here. TJ Parker, what happened? I mean, it makes no sense.
Yeah. What I mean, last year he was a beast.
Yeah.
He was
With
on
no
fire.
help. And that's just it, with
Right.
no help.
With no
No
help. That's exactly right. And
I don't know.
I
It's
mean,
just
think
very
about it.
ill-founded.
Yeah. And if you think about it, on defense, you haven't really heard Peter Wood's name a whole lot.
Nope. Nope.
You hear more about him on offense than defense.
Well, and somebody brought it up this weekend, and he said, you know, the difference in him on defense and offense, if you think about it, is when you put him on offense, he's been getting a chance to score a touchdown,
Yep.
and it's like it fires him up. I said, well, he made a comment, said, he's only in there for like 1 yard or so. And I said, yeah, he couldn't get 1 yard the other night. He said, yeah, but that wasn't at the goal line. You put him at the goal line where he can dance around and celebrate after he gets up. Then he's going, and I'm like, well, maybe got a point. I don't know. I, I can't put a finger on it. I haven't been able to put a finger on it all season long. It's frustrating as a fan, and it's disappointing, because like I said, you at the beginning of the season, you thought you had two possible, not only playoff
Oh
contenders,
yeah.
but championship contenders. And we've
Yeah.
gone from that to, you know, not even looking at, we may not even be bowl eligible at the end of the season. And who would have thought that? You know,
Exactly. I
um,
mean,
so,
it's I mean, it's scary to think that here we are. We've been just enjoying the best years of Clemson football ever,
yeah,
and come into a season 25. Several years later since the last national championship. Not too far, less than 10 years, and here we are. We got a team that's everybody's saying this team's going to be able to compete for a national championship. This team has a Heisman Trophy contender. This
yeah,
team has several dudes on defense that'll go in the first round of the NFL draft.
yep.
We went from that to questions,
What?
asking questions every single week about
Right.
everything except the punter.
Yeah, yeah. The one position that everybody was concerned about has been the bright spot.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that crazy?
It is, man. It is. We've gone from Heisman contenders and first round draft picks to possibly one first round draft pick.
Yeah.
And right now, it's up in the air as to whether or not he's in the lower first round or in the higher first round. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Hey.
and just to give you a good example real quick on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to be picking on TJ Parker, but I mean, he was like one of my favorite dudes on defense last year. You
Mine
know,
too.
I was looking at him this year. I was like, this is going to be his last year with us. He's just a junior. This is going to be his last year with us, man. He's going to be on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a comparison. In 24, I'm not going to go through every single thing.
Yeah.
Last football season, he had 57 tackles, 19 and a half tackles for loss, and 11 sacks. That's strong.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So this year, we're already past the halfway point. So just for numbers' sake, we're just going to say we're at the halfway points.
Okay.
Just double each one of these figures I give you for 25.
Okay.
He's got, let's see, how many tackles does he have? 25 tackles for the year so far. and that's actually through 7 games.
Okay.
He's got 6 tackles for loss and 2 sacks. So if you double that, just say he does the same thing the second half of the season as he did the first half.
Okay.
He's half of his production from last year. And and this is my thing. How could things go from night and day like that? Go from one extreme to the other. And that's just what blows my mind about this football team is, and it's not just on defense. And I mean, you can point out individuals. I mean, we both can. But it's the defense as a whole, the offense as a whole. Mm-hmm. I mean, even our field goal kicker, who was, did pretty good as a freshman last year, then comes in this year, he's missed a few. I mean, it's. What was it? What was the term that Dabo used at the beginning of the year that they just fed into the rat poison?
Oh, the rat poison. Yep.
I mean, could it be the rat poison?
I would say part of it, yeah. I just don't think that all of it is. That's the thing. I was trying to look up. I know Jason did an article with the Clemson Insider about the possible portal players that we may be looking, or we may need, positions we may need. And he had an interesting fact about, or an interesting stat about Will Helt. And I was scrolling through it right now trying to find where it was at because hold on a second.
Yeah, but while you're looking for that.
All right. So Will Helt, who's been one of the bright spots, and this is from his article, okay? Helt has been one of the few bright spots on defense, leading the team with 4 sacks and 8.5 tackles for loss. That's a comparison that you can use with I mean, come on here.
Well, and there you go. And see, and that's where TJ Parker should be.
Exactly.
Also.
Exactly and right.
That's where he should be also. So, I mean, there's something there. Let's see. Since we're doing this, let's do one more.
Okay.
How many? And what did you say that Will Helt?
Will Helt is leading the team with 4 sacks and 8.5 tackles for loss.
All right. Peter Woods. Last year he had 28 tackles. He's got 21 this year, so he's pacing ahead on there.
Yeah.
He had 8.5 tackles for loss last year. He's got 1.5 this year. He had 3 sacks last year. He has 1 this year. So
now, in his defense, and in his defense, he was injured for most of the year last year. I will, for a good part of it. But still, this was his money year.
Yep, but still, he's under his stats from last year.
Exactly right.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. It's going to be interesting to see the way the rest of the season goes. It's also going to be interesting to see because, like I said, that article there, if y'all want to go and read it, it's a really good article by JP. The title of the article is Looking at Potential Portal Needs for Clemson Next Season. And, I think he really points, he puts out some good points there as to what we could be looking at in the offseason. Switching gears a little bit, let's talk some enjoyment. All right. Very, very busy week for Coach Bakich and the baseball team.
Yes.
Had a bunch of commits over the past week, but also got the second installment of the game between the Tigers and the Banana Ball All-Stars, and ended up winning the game. I'll be honest with you, I was at a country concert Friday night, so I did not get to go. I didn't get to watch it then, and I've been so busy this weekend I have not watched it yet. I actually can say that I will probably watch it in the next day or so with my wife. She has really bought in Banana Ball, and so that's kind of why I've also been waiting to watch it. I didn't want to watch it without her. But the good thing about it is this year we won. Last year we lost 2-1. This year we won 4-3. And everybody that has watched it says that the middle innings aren't all that important, but the latter innings you get to see our young pitchers, and
Yep.
they've talked about they look really really good. Um, Also won a scrimmage against Alabama yesterday, 8-3, and again, what everything I'm hearing is really good about the upcoming season. Um, there's going to be some spots that got to be filled and stuff like that, but from what I can gather, he's done a really good job of bringing in some young talent, and going to be interesting to see. I don't.
Here, look here. Got a lot to build off of from last season. I think we kind of, if I'm not mistaken, we kind of imploded
Yeah,
towards the end of the season. Just couldn't get it
I
together completely.
I
Lost
am
several
really
series.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what. And I know we're jumping ahead because basketball is just getting ramped up a little bit, and we'll be talking more
Oh
about
yeah.
that. As that starts to unfold and stuff. But and I'm probably going to say his name wrong. I don't know whether it's Daly or Daly. Um,
Yeah.
they brought him in from Mercer, and he's already shown a great deal of pop in the bat. And that was one of the things that we were actually lacking, last year. And don't get me wrong,
Yep.
I'm not one that wants to see us go in and be a team that's either you hit it out the park or you don't score at all. I like a good combination between small ball and
Yep.
being put some players on
Same.
the ball on the bases, and bring those ducks off the pond. So
Hey, and this is the first season without Cantarella.
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So
And
it's
I'm
going to
gonna
be
tell you,
interesting to see.
it is. I mean, he was a special dude. He really
He
was.
was.
It just, um, and I, he did really well last year. I would have liked to have seen him do a little bit better, just for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Not talking about
That's
Clemson
right.
baseball, just for and it was. I was there for that last game when we lost, and just seeing his emotions said everything that needed to be said. Man, he
Yep.
gave everything he had. So
Well, and you know what? And not only that, he did that on the baseball field, but he did to Clemson because he could have easily transferred out and chased some money.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Easily.
I can promise you he had way better opportunity or way better options as far as
Yep.
money at other
He
places.
he stayed with us, and
Yep,
and you know what? He'll be one of my favorite baseball players of all time.
yep, mine too.
Not just because he was great in the field, some of those catches and those clutch hits, but
Oh yeah,
just that he was a loyal Clemson dude. I
he
like that.
was. Yeah, and you could see his emotion on the baseball field when he got a hit. If he got a double or whatever, he could pump the team up, and it
That's right.
there again. Going to be interesting to see who that'll be this year and who
Yep.
that'll be forward. So, I'm looking, which we've talked about, how we rank our things. I'm more of a football, baseball, basketball guy, but love Clemson Athletics. Period.
Same, brother.
Uh, and I'm also looking forward to seeing, what the what it's going to take and what Dabo does to remedy that situation that he's got right now. And I fully expect after this year to see some major changes. Um,
Yep.
from him. Um, you know, we both know that you're going to have some major spots to fill next year. Um, I think in Jason's article it says that you got at least have a handful that you're gonna have to get out the portal, and that possibly could jump up to about 10, depending on you know who decides not to come back or who decides to transfer out. But at the
Yep.
same time, you know, it's gonna be interesting to see. Um,
Very interesting. that's going to be a good point of conversation towards the end of the season here. Who's going to stay and who's going to go?
Yep. Yep. This will probably also be the first year, if, and that is a big if now, if we find a way to get bowl eligible, how many players this year, and it's going to go back to what I said the other, I think we both said it last week or so, heart and how much some of these players actually are playing for pride of the paw. Because I
Yep.
expect to see a bunch of players, and hope I'm wrong, but if we do make it to a bowl, I expect a bunch of players to opt out. This will be the first
Yep.
time we've actually
I
seen
hope they don't.
it firsthand. So,
Yep. And I hope they don't, Freddie, because, one thing about Dabo is, he's built a culture there
yep,
of
yep,
loyalty. And that's another reason everything just kind of blows my mind. But you're right, it's going to be interesting to see if that loyalty is going to still be there. I can understand some of these dudes that would transfer out that kind of got buried in the depth chart and, didn't see that they were going to be playing a whole lot. And, they wanted to play football. And I get it. Some
Oh, we all
people,
do.
and
Yep,
I get that. Those are the ones, hey, if you want to transfer out, man, nobody should say anything to you about that.
yep.
Gosh, he was that went to, he went out west here a couple of years ago as a running back. Pretty good. Gosh, what was his name? I think he went and played for Wisconsin or
Oh shoot,
who was it? But anyway,
I
he
know who
was
you're talking about.
he was a good little running back, and he just got kind of buried in that depth chart, and he transferred out. He actually did really well,
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken. Was it Wisconsin? No, it might not have been Wisconsin, but anyway, yeah. But the transfer portal is good for the ones who use it in a way that's going to benefit them beyond something monetary.
Yeah.
A lot of them transfer out just for the money, and that ain't right.
Here's Malusi.
That's it.
And sadly
Chad,
enough, yeah. Sadly
where
enough,
did he go?
he went to Wisconsin, and
Wisconsin. Yeah.
he was their leading rusher, but he stepped away from Clemson after battling injuries for 3 years with the Badgers.
Yep.
I hate that for him, but see, that's what people don't realize too. A bunch of these players that have transferred out have been helped out by Coach Sweeney.
Yep.
And they don't realize that, it's not
Yes.
a matter of they're leaving on bad terms. They left because of what you just said. And he was one of them, from my understanding, that Coach Sweeney called up there and told us, look, this kid is really good. He's just not going to get playing time because we've got Shipley and we've got Maffa,
Yep.
y'all have a spot. And he went up there, and I can still remember watching him in games going, man, he's got so much talent,
Yep.
and it's that's the one
But
thing that's one of those intangibles that you can't count. You can't
that's
talk.
right.
Nobody really
But
discusses it all that much.
right.
So
And but see, that's just a good example of a good transfer.
exactly right.
I mean, he did that. He transferred out. He got an opportunity to play, and was leading rusher for the year. And
Yep.
Wisconsin is known for having great running backs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you
Ron
got
Dane is one of my favorites.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. He was a beast, man.
Yes.
But and of course you got the others like Kelly Bryant, who we all know that was not a good divorce.
No, but
Who was the running back that was there when Shipley and Moffa were a freshman, and he tried to show up, C.J. Spiller, when he tried to go in when he wasn't supposed to. I'm trying to remember who it was, and we had to
yeah,
loose. Oh man, oh dadgummit. But I mean, you got both. You got examples of both sides. You know what I'm saying? Both ways, and
yeah,
you know, like I said, it's you're thankful. For me, I'm thankful that we've got a coach like Coach Sweeney. All right, Am I frustrated right now? Yes.
Everybody is.
Anybody that's been watching our podcast can, I'm sure, can tell the difference between episode 1 and episode 9, as far as excitement to disappointment to now frustrated.
Well, frustration and worry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Man,
mean,
I tell you,
it's
just it is one of those things that it's like, is this a real life?
yeah, yeah.
you
Um,
know,
you know,
I mean, and again, it's not just because we're spoiled. Yeah, we're spoiled from Clemson doing so well, but man, this is a year to
yeah.
really do great.
We had such a great chance to build off of
Gosh, man.
playoff appearance last year, and you know we really, it's almost like they were like, we don't need that. So
Yeah,
um but there again, all right, this will tell you how much college football has changed. All right, before the NIL, before the transfer portal and all that stuff kicked in, you had the 4-team playoffs. You had Clemson and Alabama fighting it out to see who was going to be in the playoffs the longest. All right,
yep,
6 straight years we were in the playoffs. We won 2 national championships, against Alabama. All right, to where at the beginning of this year, Alabama loses a ugly one to Florida State. Okay, so everybody is ready. Alabama's done. It's over. They're ready to fire the board. Okay, all right. To Alabama going on this winning streak and just dominating teams in the SEC, and Florida State gets to a point in there. Everybody's like, oh yeah, that's the same Florida State we saw last year. Yeah, that, and then people start questioning, well, is Alabama really as good as they actually have shown after they
yeah,
lost to them and blah 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 blah. And then Alabama goes to South Carolina yesterday and almost loses to them. To a team, to a South Carolina team that has underperformed, just like we have. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
Are also would have the same record as us. Or had the same record as us up until yesterday. That's the and everybody jokes about it and stuff, but honestly, it's really interesting to see how much more competition there is throughout the season, I guess you'd say.
yeah,
No matter where, what conference you're in or anything else, because I can promise you nobody expected Virginia and Georgia Tech. Now, I expected it to be, in my opinion, coming into the season, I felt like the 2 top teams would be Georgia Tech and us. Um, you know, Now you've got Georgia Tech and Virginia. And it looks like, unless something really changes, that they're on a collision course for Charlotte. You know, so it's gonna be
yeah.
interesting to see.
You you kind of cut out there. You kind of cut out there a little bit on me.
All right, what part did you miss? Where'd you last hear?
You kind of cut out on a majority of that.
Okay. Well,
It just kind of, you froze.
might be telling us it's time to get off. I don't know. I was trying to keep track of it, but I haven't really paid it too much attention.
Well, you talk. Last I heard that you were talking about ending up in Charlotte. But
Yeah, Virginia and Georgia
hey,
Tech
you know
look
what?
to be on a collision course. So,
Yep. And you know what? I'd love to see Virginia get there. I'm
me
a
too.
big Tony Elliott fan. I mean, hey, he's a Clemson guy.
He is.
Man,
Through
his
and through.
story, incredible. Walk on, his background.
Mhm.
He's incredibly smart.
Oh yeah.
I mean, incredibly. I'm not talking football smart. He's a
Yeah. Oh, I
highly
know.
intelligent man. and he's a good man. He's a Christian
That's right.
man,
That's what I
and
say.
he's a
He's a
product
believer.
of
Yep,
yep, and he's a product of Clemson University.
that's right.
So you can't help but pull for one of your own, you know.
Exactly. Exactly right. But well, y'all, we've given our opinions on some stuff. We've talked some good stuff in baseball. We've talked some, you know, things that we would like to see or hope to see going forward with the football team, and hopefully, next Sunday we'll be talking about how Clemson came out from their bye week and took care of Duke. You know.
That's right.
Uh,
Well, let's do this real quick,
yep.
Freddie.
Okay.
2 keys to the game and
Okay.
a score prediction.
Okay. All right. My 2 keys to the game are the defensive line has to step up and play like we've expected them to play. The other key to the game is the offensive line has to do the same thing. If those 2 things can happen, we will have a shot against Duke. And my scoring prediction is the Tigers 21, Duke 27. I'm sorry, Tigers 21, Duke 17.
All right. I'm look here. I'm pretty much with you here on the keys. My keys are I want to see the offensive line perform to what we believe that they're capable of.
Mm-hmm.
That's number 1. Number 2 is I'm just going to go broad based. I would just like to see the defense as a whole step up and stop. Stop somebody.
Yeah.
Final score, and look here. I didn't think about it ahead of time. We've been scoring pretty good lately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking 34-16 Clemson. There's 34-23 Clemson.
All right. I like it. I do. I like it. Hopefully when we come back together on next Sunday, we'll be talking about. I hope it's your score rather than mine, because it made me feel a lot better if it's your score than mine.
Either one's good with me. It's the Clemson win. So hey, I just feel like we've been scoring some points the last 3 games. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna score.
That makes sense. It does. Well,
and I want to say one thing before we go, Freddie.
Okay.
Our granddaughter Sarah, her birthday was actually October 23rd, which was Thursday, I believe. So I just want to shout out the granddaughter Sarah. Happy birthday! Happy Pappy loves you.
Happy birthday to her. Yes, sir.
Hopefully one day she can look back on this and see that I wished her a happy birthday on her first birthday.
There you go, man. There you go. That's what it's all about.
On the podcast.
There you go, man.
That's right.
Hopefully by the time she's old enough to really know, it's shot out and we're actually, doing something that people are talking about, and it's not in a bad way. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I think that's both of our hopes.
We're gonna keep doing this.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if we got 1 viewer or 100 viewers. We're gonna keep doing this because I enjoy it.
We're having fun with it, and that's what counts.
That's right. That's right.
Well, y'all, until the next time, as we always say, go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Pull them through, man.
Bring home that W. Take care, brother.
Same to you, buddy.
All right, man.